Clock Rant Part 2. If you missed Part 1 of my rant talking about the WCA's impending removal of clock, I'll leave a link in the description, check that out. This is Part 2 because I got more to say, so let's get into it. So the reason I wanted to speak about this was because I just felt like the decision was wrong and they just didn't make fair considerations. One big reason that they listed for removing clock was the lack of spectator friendliness. And I want to elaborate more on this specific point because I think this is a really important topic. So they had said, determining whether a clock is solved and seeing a competitor progress to a solve are not easily visible at a distance and substantially reduce the spectator appeal of the event, particularly to non-specialist audiences. And I'm just like, okay, like, you're more concerned about the spectators and about all the people who love clock and compete in clock. Also, I feel like a lot of events aren't that visible from a distance, so I don't really get that at all. And I think it's just funny that they did not take the community feedback into consideration because the community was strongly against removing an event, but they are taking into consideration spectator friendliness. Now, I don't think this was the main reason they removed clock. I think we all know what the main reason was, but this obviously was something they took into consideration. It's obviously more important than what the competitors actually want. There is this idea that in order to grow cubing, it needs to become a spectator sport, and I completely disagree with this, and they've been making regulation changes to make it more spectator friendly, this clock decision included. And I'm just like, who are these spectators? Because it seems like they're trying to cater towards people who just love to watch speedcubing. And I'm like, those people don't exist. The people who are spectating at comps are like parents of competitors and stuff who don't even want to be there, but don't really have a choice. I think the only people who are watching and might actually be interested are competitors. And I just feel like it doesn't work as a spectator sport. It's just not that interesting to watch. People aren't just going to watch it for fun. People are only going to watch it if they're actually like interested in cubing. It just feels like they're trying to force speedcubing to be something that it's not, because ultimately it's not a sport. It's just a fun hobby that people like to participate in. It's not going to be a big thing. It's just a niche community, and it's not that serious. Somebody left a comment on my last video and said, having events be good for spectators brings in money that can grow the sport. How? Like, literally how? Because spectators aren't paying to go to competitions. But you know who is? The competitors! They're the ones who are paying. Sometimes a lot of money to go to these competitions. That's where the money's coming from. This perspective just, I don't get it. I do not understand. And like the people who genuinely believe cubing is a spectator sport or that it needs to be, it's blowing my mind. And it sounds a little crazy. And it sounds kind of delusional, to be honest, because it really is delusional. The cubing community is not the spectators. The cubing community is the competitors. So making decisions that cater to this imaginary group of people over the people who are actually real and who matter is just insane to me. So as I said, we've been seeing regulation changes to make it more spectator friendly that are actually harming the competitor experience. You know, we're seeing event changes, obviously clock being removed. You know, it's a popular, thriving event that, you know, they consider not spectator friendly, and that's one of the reasons they want to see it removed, obviously completely ignoring the community feedback. We're also seeing format changes like the head-to-head introduced. I actually have a whole rant filmed about this specifically, a group rant, matter of fact. It's gonna take a little time to edit, but that is coming because I want to talk more about that specifically. But that was another change to make, you know, speedcubing more spectator friendly. And obviously this is also kind of ruining the experience for the competitors because, I mean, it's taking away averages, which obviously is one of the main goals that competitors have. They want to get a PR average. Now you're not getting an average, you're just getting a single. It also takes a lot of time, so it's limiting time for other events. Yeah, like I said, long rant incoming at some point about that. Also, more focus on the live streams than the actual in-person competing experience. I mean, they basically are like force competitors to be on the live stream, which I think is wrong, especially given, like I said, the competitors are paying to go to the competition. So I don't think they should then be forced to be on the live stream if they don't want to. It's not like they're getting paid to do it. And the whole thing is just ironic because I also feel like at the same time they're refusing to make changes that would actually improve the competitor experience. You know, if the WCA was really concerned about the competitor experience, I don't think they'd be considering the removal of clock. I think they'd be considering the use of 4-pad mode. You know, that's something that could really help improve the fairness of competitions. I guess it's fine when people cheat with their timer starts, but if a world's scrambler misscrambles a clock, then the entire event needs to be removed. It just feels like you won't punish people from cheating, but you'll essentially punish the entire clock community for an incident that was completely out of their control. I mean, I think there's also ways like just the organization at competitions could be improved just to, you know, make the competitor experience better. I mean, there's lots of things that could happen. Now, Elijah Rain Phelps, the former Square One world record holder, posted a video like yesterday, kind of about a similar topic. It was a really good video. I'm going to link it in the description. Please watch it. He said some things that I can't say here. I wish I could, but definitely check it out. I completely agree with what he said, and there were some really good comments on that video from, like, experienced competitors, so I just want to read some of those. We, as competitors, literally pay money to compete. No spectators paying to watch cubing, and all of a sudden they made the switch to prioritize these spectators. It doesn't make any sense. It's always been about the competitors' experience and having fun and making connections, which is why people still cube today. I'm very disappointed that my main event has been taken away to fulfill this hypothetical spectator-friendly world they are trying to make. It's outrageous. I mean, you couldn't agree more. The competitors are paying to compete. The competitors are paying to compete. That is why cubing isn't a sport. Because in real sports, the athletes get paid to compete. They don't pay to compete. Most competitors in my region are so obsessed with the idea cubing needs to be this huge thing while there's no demand, and it only makes competing harder, slower, more artificial, and less enjoyable. If cubing is meant to be a huge sport like people make it out to be, there would be demand and people coming from all around just to watch. I think this for worlds has majors too. People think it should be more exclusive and harder to achieve has qualified for it, but doing so defeats the purpose, shrinking the community while making it more elitist. Yeah. Again, like I said earlier, this is all to, like, grow speedcubing, but I feel like we're going in the wrong direction. I think the way to grow speedcubing is to make it more accessible to just anyone. You know, don't make it more exclusive. Like, it's literally just for fun. It's just a fun hobby. And this is coming as someone who does take it seriously. Like, I go to comps, I want good results, I have high standards for myself, but, like, it is not that serious. It is not that serious. And it's just something fun that we like to participate in. So yeah, please check out that video. I think some of the comments did a really good job of sort of, you know, articulating this issue, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents. So yeah, a little bit of a shorter rant this time. Like I said, there might be more. I'm ready to rant about clock until they finally bring it back, guys. I am all for bringing back clock. So yeah, let me know your opinions. I loved reading the comments on my last video. This rant is over.